See, I was singing a song and then I went quiet, just like you told me to, from 3 down.
How is anyone going to know that you were singing a song then?
You know.
I do.
You knew no.
Not,
you knew no.
And listeners and viewers, let me.
Oh, and of course, right when we get started, John freezes.
So, not that it wasn't an excellent.
It's because he's got a cold.
It wasn't an excellent effort, but it's nice to see you, Nick. You look fabulous.
I have no idea what you said because you froze on me. Did I freeze on you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
You'll find out when you when it's downloaded.
So the fun thing, folks, we've discussed recently. If you want to start your own podcast, you should use Riverside.fm. There is a link in all of our bio stuff where you can actually click on it and go in there, and we get a little kickback, and that's great to support the podcast.
Massive.
Along with buying us
a
coffee. You can always buy us a coffee.
And we're going to get to. We should have buy us a car.
We should have buy us a car, but
I want to have coffee.
I want to talk about that too. Okay. But first of all, I want to say the neat thing about this, all of the tools that we've used in the past, they record locally and then you upload and all of the tools in the past, if John were to have frozen, the picture when I download it is John frozen. Mm-hmm. And it's just really, really weird. But what's going to happen now is I will have been talking over John the whole time. You're going to see John talking and you're going to hear John talking because to you, nothing ever happens. It's not frozen. It's real time on both screens because it's downloading a different way and then uploading. So I actually will have everything. It won't look anything like what we're describing on the screen.
And so it is weird, just as an explanation, that because it actually my stuff downloads to my computer, Nick's stuff downloads to his computer. Sometimes each other's screen freezes when we're looking at each other. And then sometimes you'll see us go. And in reality, you will not notice any delay. I'm trying to use layman's terms. You won't notice a delay because it actually was downloaded.
Was I not using layman's terms?
No, you were using your usual technology laden. No,
well, that sucks.
It was for you. It was
for me. It was very lay.
Yeah.
Speaking of laid,
yes, speaking of that, this should be good.
So let's go back to buying us a coffee or Riverside.fm, jumping on the bandwagon with all these podcasts or buy us a car. Yes. Anyway, I'm sure you saw it because I think it was on LinkedIn and it was right after one of your posts that I saw on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. There was a picture, it was a car guy, picture of an old abandoned car lot in Ohio. And it still had a 1977 light blue Cordoba sitting in the showroom.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? It's really so I was trying to, and of course my wife being the uber impressed person that she is, whenever I come up with stories, she was so impressed with the story I had to share, which is my stepfather owned 2 Cordobas.
That's why she fell in love with you.
Exactly. My stepfather owned 2 Cordobas. One was a 1977 shit brown, and the other one was a baby blue like this one, 1978. So he has a grandson who is a year older than I am, who's born in 1977. I was born in 1978. So he got his license obviously a year before me, but basically we started driving around the same time. So his name is Paul. Shout out to Paul because I know he listens.
What up, Paul?
He doesn't. He doesn't even know this podcast exists.
Shush.
Anyway, Paul got the shit brown 1977 Cordoba because he was born in 1977. I was supposed to get the light blue 1978 Cordoba. And I did like the Cordoba. And
we used to call it loser blue, just FYI.
Loser blue. I like it. Yeah, it fits. Blue. It definitely fits. Mm-hmm. But as folks in this podcast know, my very first car was a 1981 Oldsmobile Tornado. The reason I didn't get the Cordoba and I got the Tornado was right when Murray is my stepfather. Murray brought the Cordoba home for me to take. He parked it in the driveway, and the engine quit. And never started again.
Wow.
Yeah, the pistons and
So
something happened. They seized. That's what I was looking for. The engine seized, the pistons and the engine seized.
And he just had it towed and it went to the junkyard?
Pretty much, yep. So I didn't get my baby blue Cordoba, and I was really disappointed because I honestly did not want the Tornado. And there's a long story behind that I won't get into. But that 1977 Cordoba was that baby blue, and that brought back a lot of memories. So I hope our podcast listeners actually enjoy the story more than my wife enjoyed that story.
I bet she was enthralled. I can
the entire time.
Was
enthralled.
I should put up did they have rich Corinthian leather? The Cordobas?
That's exactly what someone said in the comments.
Yes.
That's
not me.
Funny. That's funny. Anyway,
but
back to the website.
Who was the spokesperson? Who was the spokesperson before you?
I don't know. I was born.
Oh, come on. So what? It seems like you could have done some research.
I could have, but I wasn't expecting to talk about it. I was trying to talk about our website. You said
you have to roll your tongue. We'll get to the website, and our listeners and viewers know darn well that if we're going to start with something, it usually takes several minutes to get there. Yeah. Ricardo Montalban was the guy. He was the
Con.
No. From Fantasy Island.
He was also Con.
Was he really? I did not know.
Yes, he was. Yeah, you should look it up. He was the best Con. Why not? Well, you should do your research.
No, I don't want to. Why would I? Why would I research that?
Because it was a fantastic movie. It's often touted as one of the best. My grandma used to
laugh like that. My grandma used to laugh like that.
Really?
And she'd always finish with that wind down at the end. I think it was a Norwegian thing. Norwegians, and I've been to Norway, when you go and we met with our relatives, they often do a, yeah. They inhale and say, yeah. So as they're just going around the room, yeah. What is that?
See, that must be where Minnesotans get the
yeah. Except they exhale in Minnesota.
Yeah. And they add the you betcha at the end. Yeah, you betcha.
Oh yeah, for cry you betcha. They sometimes say for cry.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, now let's talk about our website, because we beat the crap out of that.
We did. We really, really did. I don't remember what I was going to talk about on the website, which is exactly how this whole conversation started. Because
you redid the website. It looks great.
I did. Well, thank you. It's still work in progress. It's probably a lot further done by today when this podcast comes out on January 2nd.
Also works in progress, my friend.
We should always be works in progress, as the website should as well.
Yes.
That's what I often tell clients that I'm working with. We always grade their digital presence online, and one of the first questions is based on the conversation: does the website meet your expectations? I don't remember the exact wording, but I always give them a middle score, and they always like, why am I getting a middle score and not the top score? I'm like, because the top score is someone who has a perfect website, and that perfect website does not exist.
So no one, and certainly not on your URL.
Right, exactly. Anything that I make is far from perfect.
No, I didn't mean you. I meant the client.
Oh, wow. I see. Yeah, I should use that. I use a lot of things that you say.
I'm a helper.
You are a helper. You're a big helper. Yes, anyway, so yes, we've redone the website, and it's a work in progress still, but there's a lot of really good information up there. You can still get everything that you got previously. You can even follow some of our past guests who have their own things going on.
Links
up there, links to whatever they have going on, and it's just a great place to get more information. What did I really do? I just changed the look of it a little bit, and I also made it a lot faster, so hopefully it'll load faster on your end and give you a better customer experience. And
I think most importantly, it's important to note that now that I've sent them to you, we're going to be updating my picture, which I think a lot of people have been waiting for that. So
I have definitely been waiting for that.
Yeah, well, 100%. I think a lot of people have.
A lot of people have,
not just you.
The only thing I don't like about our website, and this is me being very nitpicky, is I moved all of our bio stuff because we never got anyone on our bio pages.
Yep,
all of our bio stuff to the home page, to the front page. But in doing so, I got rid of our family photos, which I really enjoyed having a picture of you and Lisa on the shore on the beach, and then a picture of the three of us, my wife and Peyton. So yeah, I do miss that kind of, and maybe we'll put it in there somewhere. But that's shaking my table.
We should have gotten a picture when all five of us got together.
We should have. Why didn't we do that?
That was fun.
It was fun. Why didn't you think of that?
Because I know what's very busy eating, and
I was rolling wine. I was wondering why my table was shaking so much and why my microphone was not doing what I wanted it to do. And I rolled over my microphone cord. Go figure.
Are you drinking already?
I wish. You are. What are you drinking? Ginger ale?
Dew Zero. It's a Baja Blast.
Ew.
Baja Blast. It's actually good. It's they do this, not a sponsor, it's a combo with Taco Bell.
See this, folks?
Yeah. That's
water.
Really no, look at the jar. That looks like corn squeezes.
Looks like moonshine. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
What do you think was in there first?
Water, probably, to rinse it out, but then right into the
actually, I think this was.
It's like doing a podcast with Granny Clampett.
Yeah, I think this was actually tomato sauce, if I remember right.
Well, yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Before you ran it through the still?
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Recycle, reuse. No, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yes. Which, by the way,
yes,
I have to say that we are doing in a big way as we're looking to move stuff into the new house.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about moving something into the podcast. I was like, I'm getting excited.
Heck, let's move on from the podcast.
Keep the podcast the same.
I do want the buy us a car thing, though. I think that would be awesome.
A great idea.
But I'm afraid
light blue Cordova.
I would get a lot of Pontiac Fieros.
Which you and I both voted for that Pontiac Fiero on Bill's site.
What did you put it as?
I put it as crush.
Yeah, crush it. Yep. Which is easy because they're mostly plastic.
That's true. Yeah. Not coming back from that
Bill
one.
is more of a fan of the Fiero and the Aztec, I will say.
You've said that before.
I am not a fan.
I am not. That's another crusher.
But he's a GM guy.
For those of you who haven't seen that particular post, and it was an Instagram post, right? Or
yes,
is it on Facebook?
So, yeah. I think it was Instagram, yeah.
He had a picture of Fiero. He had a picture of a Porsche 944.
Porsche,
whatever.
944.
And a 83 Camaro, which it was it was my favorite kind of
Z28.
Z28, thank you. Yeah. Z28 Camaro. Uh-huh. And so he asked you to rank it, crush it, keep it, or trade it for your next.
Yeah, like a remake it, redo it, and sell it.
Right, exactly. So I crushed the Fiero, I kept the Camaro, and then I used the Porsche for the next to buy your next toy. Whatever. I don't remember the word. Sorry, Bill. I don't remember the exact wording. But basically trade it for the next toy. Yep. And then I put after that, I commented and I said, now if it's a 911, we'll have another conversation.
That's a different story. Yes,
that is a completely different story.
The 944 and the Camaro, I would redo and sell.
Really? See,
absolutely.
I love it. I would get my hands on an old Camaro.
If it were a Gen 2 Camaro, 1970, in that range, 70 to 72, I want to say. I love those. I would just pretty much keep a car.
I'd pretty much keep any Camaro from the day it rolled off the line for the first time up until the mid 80s.
Yeah.
Anything after the mid 80s, no.
I had a 94, I think, and it was kind of cool. It was a V6. It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but that was the next iteration after they discontinued the Camaro for several years.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about the mid to late 70s and early 80s because they were, as the one build showed, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
For many years, the Corvette was just this cool car that people would go, oh, look, it has to flow through the wind. It's just wonderful. Well, what they found out when they actually got the Corvette in a wind tunnel is that it was roughly the same as a big square box truck. It did not. It was not flowing through the.
It was a brick on wheels.
At all. It sort of was, and so
I have no experience with bricks on wheels.
They did major. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, I think we have driven. You're driving one right now, but at least it's a cool one. But anyway, yeah. So those are. I would much rather the Gen 2 were they just with the 2 headlights. It was really simplistic. I did see one though that had added ground effects, and I don't like that. I'd rather have something that's more, factory looking with a sleeper motor in it that, can blow the doors off anything.
I used to love the Camaro. Again, the 80s Camaros with the ground effects. I mean, I love them. I love them. And I think, I think every generation has its own, and everyone, same could be said about Jeeps. And I know we had a long conversation about this at one point, CJ5, CJ7, gorgeous.
Yep.
Then you get up to the Jeeps with the square lights. I wouldn't, nope.
Yeah.
Then you got the TJs. I really loved it. I had 2 TJs. I love the TJs, but then you had the JKs, and I hate the JKs. I think they're ugly. But then you got the JLs, which is what I have. Gorgeous. And
they're very nice looking.
Yeah, I think it's just you have those things that you're attracted to, and some that you're definitely not.
I would agree. I think the Jeeps are really benefiting from upgraded lift and wheel and tire packages these days.
Agreed.
I really, and even the Gladiator, which at first with the standard wheel and tire package is
exactly
not a big fan. But now, in fact, we have a neighbor just up the street who has a couple of them. And they both have lift kits and wheel and tire packages. Yeah. And they're good looking trucks.
Which is funny because we had Mike on the and when we were talking about that, he was talking about lift kits and things like that. I'm like, no. I am not a lift fan. I do not like but the way Jeep, especially the stock ones, and people are probably cringing at me for saying that, but the stock on mine it's got a lift, it's stock, the bigger tires, all of that, but it comes standard on
so it's not going to mess with your warranty, which is another big benefit of doing a factory lift.
Right.
And yours isn't huge. I mean, 2-inch lift or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's not very much. And I mean, I see in Florida, and I don't get it. I guess somebody can explain it to me. Maybe, they do a lot of, domestic pickups, and I drive one, which I love, by the way. But they lift them. I mean, seriously, anywhere from a 4 to a 20-inch lift kit.
Yeah.
And
it's ridiculous.
They
so
have
ugly.
Tens of thousands of dollars in wheels and tires often, or 10 grand, let's say, for 4 wheels and tires. And they stick outside the wheel wells a minimum of 4 inches.
Yeah.
And some of them even more. And they're never going off-road with those things, ever.
Right. No.
Because they'd be terrible off-road, number one. But number two, I just don't get it. That's
when anyone does understand any sort of modification to any vehicle.
Yeah.
I guess, and maybe I don't remember, forgive me if I said this when Mike was on, but if it's functional, then it's cool. I like it. When it goes past functional, then why do it? They don't, don't personally, again, it's a personal thing. I don't think it looks good.
Yeah.
But if it's functional, like if you are taking it off road and actually is going to benefit your experience, then by all means.
Or if it's just something you like, but again, I guess I would just be interested in knowing that, because truly some of those, it also invalidates the warranty.
Right.
For some of them. When you have wheels sticking this far outside, I think a lot of the OEMs are invalidating the warranties.
Oh, absolutely. They are.
Anyway, I maybe somebody can explain it to me, and I'm not judging. Do what you want. It's your money and it's your truck. But, a lot of people are, I don't know. I mean, I just don't get it.
I don't either. I really don't either. But it's a new year. We shouldn't judge people, John.
Oh, not judging. Not judging.
I feel like we're judging, John.
Their money.
It's their money.
Their
That's
money.
True.
Their truck.
I am not.
If they don't like the warranty, That's fine.
To each their own. And if they want to come on the podcast to defend their reasons, by all means. I mean, this is not, not a slight.
You almost
said anybody.
To defend their irrational reasoning.
Their irrational reasoning. Absolutely.
Nice. Not judging them.
I'm not a journalist, so I can't get away with that.
I see. Yes. Yeah. As if there are any real journalists anymore.
That was kind of my point. I was being sarcastic.
Oh my gosh. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes,
even though I had to explain it to you. It's not the first time I've had to explain my jokes.
I was just assuming you didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
I never do. Why do I ever know what I'm talking about?
So, well, I think it's always fun for us talking about cars. So
yes,
that is cool. So anyway, yeah, you always pitch the buy us a coffee, and we've had that. Bill has bought us several people have bought us coffee, and it's fun. It's just a fun thing to do. But I think we could start a new thing with buy us a car, and or maybe a trailer, a pull behind trailer.
Oh, speaking of, did you send? I sent you one today.
No,
I think I sent it on Instagram. Take a look.
Oh, okay. I will check it out. Well, I'll check it out now.
Yeah, check it out right now.
I'm sure people are just dying to hear.
Oh, I'm sure they are. You'll love it. And I think you should put it up on the screen so people can see it.
Okay, well, let me see if I can pull it up.
We'll try to make it our screenshot for the
that's episodes. A good idea. Oh, people are going to love
I might even change our screenshots. You like that?
So I will tell you, I used to drive this exact truck.
Really?
It had a flatbed on it, and I will show. Oh, I love this, actually. This is very cool. Look at that.
Move it to
This is a Ford cab over. So the motor, this thing tilts forward, and the motor is underneath that whole cab. And so it's loud, and it was just terrible. It was the worst truck, but this one had a flatbed, and it's the first one I drove. I was 18 years old driving this thing on a gig that I had. Just got my chauffeur's license is what they called it back then. So that takes me back. This though this is amazing.
It's for sale. I think the auction when I sent it to you was 70,000.
It says under 75K.
Under 75K. And it's in Florida, but notice the snowmobile.
No. Where's the snowmobile?
Look next to the open.
Oh gosh. Oh boy. That's like a 1960 something snowmobile. Wow. Yeah. Florida. That's going to go.
So I sent that to John today and I said, Potty Pod?
Oh my gosh. Yes, you did. Osprey, Florida. I don't know where it is. Yeah. And it says under 75,000. And here's what I'll say. It'd have to be a whole lot under 75,000 for me to consider anything like that, especially with that tractor pulling it. Ford.
Well, honestly, that's the type of thing that I would buy just because it looks like it's in really good shape and it looks fun and it looks unique. It looks kitschy. But it would never leave I would pull it somewhere, put it on a piece of property, and then seal it up and make sure it still looks good all the time. But it wouldn't move. I'd probably take the motor out of the truck.
Yeah, that would be the best thing you could do for that truck. Believe me. Seriously, the last time I drove that thing, not this one, but the one that I drove, it was a truss company, and we made building floor trusses and roof trusses in my hometown. It was, a quarter mile from my mom's house, maybe half mile. And so it was easy to get to. And they built this building and hired a bunch of local people. And, anyway, they needed somebody to deliver these trusses when they built them. So they'd load it up, or I would load it up on the truck. And the owner had me going to, downtown Chicago, to deliver these floor trusses in this flatbed truck, which was a total POS even back then.
Oh, wow.
It's a 1964 or something like that. And let's just say it was after 1964 when I was driving it.
So like 1965?
Yeah, right. It's like 1980 something probably. And I was on the way back from Chicago, the brakes went out.
Oh no.
The last time I drove it. And so I'm using like the parking brake trying to get it back to the shop. It was terrible.
Geez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was a piece of crap. Anyway. Yeah.
Speaking of mom.
that.
This show is,
speaking of Mom.
Yeah, this show is coming out on a very special day. Why don't you share with everybody what that special day is?
My awesome mother, Lois Lolo, is going to be 94 years old when it comes out on Tuesday.
94 years young.
Here's to you, Mama.
Spring chicken is what my dad 94. Would say.
Cheers.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Chicken. Happy birthday, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Yeah, well, we've had to apologize more than once doing the podcast, but
absolutely.
Had we done this podcast when I was growing up, I would regularly get my mouth washed out with soap when we were done.
You know, I
you would that. All the time get that, I'm sure.
No, to be perfectly honest, I did not swear very much when I was younger.
No, but I mean, now I'm not saying if we did the podcast. When
I wash my mouth out with soap all the time. It's the only way to clean it properly.
Good. No, that's nice. She, and you see, the Christmas Story, Ralphie has got a bar of soap in his mouth and and he said, no. That's not how my mom did it. No, you get the liquid dish soap and she was fingers in the mouth.
That's nice.
And she asked the best question ever. Did you get any? So what am I going to say? No, take another shot. No, I'm not going to say that.
So, the modern day version of that, because that's not good. That's not good for you. That's toxic.
Yes, clearly it's had a full impact on me.
Obviously. Yes. So the modern day, and this was someone who, I shall remain nameless, who lives in my neighborhood, shared this with us. And it's actually really smart because you and I take this every single day, but when it's taken in its purest form without any water, it's nasty, and they call it sassy sauce. So instead of washing your mouth out with soap, you get a spoonful of apple cider vinegar.
Oh, ACV.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it works when Peyton when she was little and she started going off, we're like, you want some sassy sauce? We only had to do it once.
Wow. Yeah, it's not great on its own. I can do it.
I can too.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yep.
Oh, I only do it when I've been sassy, of course.
Oh yeah, I know. I can just imagine how many bottles you have to go through a month.
A day, yeah. I can think of another sassy sauce that would be good, like sriracha
Bourbon?
would be perfect.
Matcha?
No, sriracha.
Oh, sriracha.
Yeah. Sriracha. SRI, my friend.
Kind of like the matcha idea.
It's like
I had matcha. I had matcha boba tea yesterday. It was fantastic.
Matcha boba tea. That sounds like something you'd order at Starbucks.
It was not Starbucks. It was Win Bubble Tea.
Okay.
So yesterday I had a little bit of a date day with my daughter.
Okay.
We went. So which really was to get all the salt off the Jeep. So I went to the car wash first and I wanted her to get out of the house for a little while. So I brought her with me and I said, okay, you come get the car washed with me. Then we'll go get bubble tea and then I'll take you to a bookstore. And I ended up taking her actually to two bookstores. We went to one of those old mom and pops where, it's in an old building and the bookshelves don't really make any sense. So you're weaving your way through. It's like a maze in a tunnel. It was a lot of fun. She didn't find any books she liked because, they're all used and old and it smelled but it was fun. So I got a couple of books there.
Awesome.
And then I said, okay, now we're going to go to the opposite experience. We're going to go to Books A Million. So we went to Books A Million. She got a couple of books and so did I. And
I've never been. There is actually one, maybe a mile from your house and a half from our house.
From your new one or your old house?
The rental here. Yeah. Because we're still not in the new one. But I haven't been in and it got quite damaged by the hurricane.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So
I'm surprised they're still in business. We have a Barnes and Noble around here too, and they're still in business.
I'm surprised by all of that, although I always liked the Barnes and Noble experience.
I love bookstores. I
don't read like I used to, but
right.
But I do remember going in, getting a cup of coffee and just sitting down and I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to breeze through it. It's a lot easier to do on Amazon, I'm going to click the page turn, whatever. But, it's just a fun experience. So
Sorry, you stopped talking right when I was taking a drink of water.
I was doing that on purpose because I wanted people to see it's not water.
You wanted dead air.
I wanted people to see that. Yeah.
There should be no dead air.
There should be dead air because I think people probably just go, it's like when you're shooting free throws in a basketball game, you just kind of, after a long game, you kind of bend down. You just take a little breather like that. And that's what it is sometimes with our podcast, because I think there's just so much information.
There's so much valuable information that'll change your life forever. I didn't say it in a good way.
I remember when that changed my life for a minute, and then I went back to normal.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm sorry.
So I want to talk about the house. Give us a house update.
Gosh, at the risk of making Lisa mad, because we're getting so close, and the guy who's like the supervisor on the project told us early in December that you know what, I'd love to have you in by Christmas, but it's absolutely going to be by the first of the year. And, I looked at Lisa and I went rolling my eyes, because this guy has made these pronouncements before and they have not come to fruition. Well, no surprise. It's not happening. And, he said the other day, I think we're looking at the end of January. And so she's pissed. And I
bet
knew we were thinking mid-January at the latest. And this is Mr. Realistic, because you may recall we were originally supposed to be in September.
Yeah.
And then delays and hurricanes and blah, 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 stuff like that.
I would say the hurricane's probably the best excuse, though.
Yeah, but it didn't damage our house much. It damaged some of the other ones they're building. And so, as has happened, we have kind of paid the price for all the other. They overextended themselves, because of the Florida market here. So anyway, we hope that we will be in mid-month, and hopefully we can extend our lease here in the rental for another couple of weeks or whatever. But we are buying furniture that we're redoing. And Lisa's so good at this. She'll sand them down and paint, because we like light painted stuff, not farmhouse so much, but
sure.
My desk I am on now today used to be our dining room table. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so big, and you know how we are. We need, because we got the big monitor and a laptop and, and all this stuff. So, anyway, she has painted this, and she's painted a couple of other things. So we're getting all this furniture. We've got stuff in here. Again, it's moving things time and time again, as you and I have said.
Yeah.
So we will be, we've got a boatload of crap to move when we're.
Probably one of my favorite desks was it was an old dining room table.
It's awesome.
And they're just so big. But what I was going to say is, I know what's taking the time, and it's probably why Lisa's so upset, is the studio is just not coming together. Is that what's really, that's the podcast studio that you're building in the house? That's what's taking so long?
Hey, it's my office like this one, except she claims we're taking the piano out, so I won't be able to have that and all the other stuff behind me. The house is just getting more and more cluttered day by day that we're here. But it is, it's the PoddiMouths studio. We're getting that all in. We want to make sure we have it all in the nice lettering on the wall.
Right. The neon sign inside of the hand painted tile.
Yes, just like that, because that's not expensive.
Not expensive at all. It's just time consuming.
Sure it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Anyway.
With all the money that we're getting from Buy Us a Coffee.
I know. And see, if we had started Buy Us a Car at the beginning, by now we would be able to afford a nice studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we'd have several cars.
We'd have several. That's right.
People say these guys need a car.
They need a car.
They probably say that after every podcast.
They do. Every single podcast. I don't know who these guys are, but they say it.
They sure need a car. So they can not be in the studio. Yes. So anyway, it's coming along. We're hoping that middle to the end of January, we will be in there. But we're starting to see progress now, and we're dealing with some of the subcontractors ourselves. And that's been going really well because we like
good.
them. The quartz countertops are about to go in, and we went, just a long story of many different things, but I bought the sink, stuff for the island because we're having the kitchen sink in the island, and it's massive, and I knew what I wanted, and fine, this is the one we're getting, and this faucet and this disposal and this, blah, blah, blah. So, it's been much better dealing with some of these people ourselves without
that's good.
Jumping through.
That usually doesn't happen.
No, exactly. And I'm not sure it should. The builder really should do all of this, but had we not been here, we've said this more than once, had we not been here for this, this would be a clown car all the way through. Yeah. So we've been, quite blessed to be here for sure.
Yeah. I think, I've shared this with you. I don't know if I've shared this on the podcast, but Jen and, well, maybe more me than Jen, but Jen and I have often talked about building because even though, and I know I've said this before, even though I know I love this house that we're in, it's still not our ideal house.
Sure.
It doesn't flow the way we want it to. It's not the size, and I'm not talking about bigger.
Yeah.
I'm just it's just not our style. It's not, it's not a cubic. And, I just kind of want to have a house built. And I say it that way because I do not want to build my house.
No, I don't want to like my dad before too.
Yeah,
yes.
My dad has literally built both of his houses, his last two houses, 3 houses. I don't want to do that. I want someone to build it for me. But every single time I say that to someone who has built a house before, they're like, "Don't do it. Don't do it." Like, still want to though.
This one hasn't been terrible. But we knew it was going to be a while, and the delays are challenging, but it really has not been bad. We could have gone with a builder who, did more houses quickly. And this is a small builder that we use, but they're custom. And so we can adjust it as we want to. So we could have done a spec house that would have been done months ago. I mean, we have spec houses being built literally a block away here. Yeah. And they're going to be done within maybe a month and a half or 2 months, all told. Yeah. They were clearing the land 2 weeks ago, and they already have block there, and they have the trusses. And I mean, So we're like, see, but it's a spec house,
Yeah, exactly. And it's not going to be the way you want it. It's
correct.
It's all going to be built cheaply because they want to get the most profit out of it. It's like this this house on the outside looks gorgeous. It really does. But when you're inside, there's so many things wrong with it. I mean, you can't see it in here, but if you were looking closely at my ceiling, you can see nails coming out from the drywall, cracks in the walls, all these things. And it is a 30-year-old house, so you should expect those things. But I've owned 100-year-old houses that were in better shape because they were built differently back then. Oh, you're muted, my friend. He actually pulled. You were being nice to everybody while you coughed.
I coughed.
Yeah,
Thank
then
you.
Thank you for pulled the Zoom.
Me. How do you know I wasn't just going? I could have done.
Well, they could be thinking that, but I could actually see the little icon in the corner that said mute. Yeah.
Damn it.
This really technical. I'm just a genius. I just know, John.
Yes. Genius. Yes. And I forgot what I was going to say.
You were talking about the spec houses.
Well, the spec house is one thing. And we had one in, Michigan, and it was not the house we wanted. It was it was okay. And it was a new house, but we were just talking about that you had a 1-year warranty, and so they would fix really no questions asked anything. And there were so many nail pops in that house, along with, for 6 months, they were in the house every week doing something to change. And so I'm hoping that isn't going to be as much the case now. Especially with the cinder block construction. I think we're going to be much happier with, how everything.
I think you are too. And the other thing that we realized, because we've never lived in a community I take that back. We have, but we never had to deal with it because we were renting. We never want to deal with again. HOA.
Oh gosh.
I do not want to live in another neighborhood with an HOA. And ours isn't bad. And ours is very, very inexpensive. But mainly because we don't have anything here. We don't have a pool. We don't have,
sure.
I mean, they maintain some of the grassy areas and the signs in the front. And they're supposed to maintain the roads, but they haven't been doing that because they're too expensive. And anyway, that's all those politics aside. I'd never want to live in another neighborhood that has an HOA.
Yeah. And so there are pluses and minuses to all that. And you know this, I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It's by buying land, clearing the land and building it, we've got neighbors, but nobody right next to us on either side.
Right.
And 3 houses behind us. And because we have a third of an acre, it's not huge, but it's a third of an acre. So, we're not on top of each other, which is kind of nice. To be in a neighborhood though, there are some benefits to that as long as it's not crazy expensive. But I've seen some, especially down here in these golf course communities, some are $600 and $700 a month and up, I'm sure, on some of them. And you don't even get a membership in the golf course. It's just, well, you have all this, pool and I've been by the pool at these 55 plus communities. Nobody's ever in them unless it's 110. And then those people who are wealthy enough to afford those properties,
they have them in the backyard.
North. Yeah. Or they're in the backyard. Exactly right.
Yeah. My parents had, stayed at a place, they owned a place rather in a golf course community, a golf course community in Phoenix. And they didn't have a pool. They had a condo there, so they didn't have a pool, but they had an HOA fee. They paid for the pool, but all the other big houses, every single one of them had their own pool.
Oh, sure.
And they still paid the HOA for the pool. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know what the selling point of that would be. I guess if you had company, you could say, not in our pool. You can go to the community pool.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're useless. Not useless. There is a time and a place, but there was, the TikTok / YouTube star that goes around to people in fancy cars and goes, dude, that's a nice car. What do you do for a living? Have you seen those?
I don't think I have. No.
Well, if anyone else is familiar with them, there's a dude that does it, but there's also someone that does that for houses in New York or apartments in New York.
Okay.
If they see rich, so they go up and they get a tour of this person. So one of the ladies that this guy stopped was the lady, the real estate lady from Shark Tank.
Okay.
And she said, yeah, she knew who he was, brought him up to her apartment, gave him the tour, and it was a very pretty apartment. And he was talking about it. She said, oh no, I paid for it. I paid for it. It's mine. It's free and clear. Oh yeah. What's the HOA fee? What's the maintenance fee? Oh, it's only $10,000 a month.
For the HOA fee.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you paid for it, but you're still paying $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
$120,000 a year.
Yeah. But here's
HOA fees.
Depending upon some of those things, that's, so you think if they're in Manhattan, what do they get for that? They've got certainly security and they've got, doormen and so on. But, I think I told you about the one I saw advertised. My niece works with a realty company, and one of their properties was $30 million apartment in downtown Manhattan. And the monthly payments were $120,000 a month.
Jeez.
I know, to own this thing. So $10,000 on top of that doesn't seem like that big a deal.
No, I guess not.
It's like 20% down and $120,000 a month. And okay.
Unbelievable.
Well, that's
the crazy thing is
a little outside of my price range.
There are people out there that can afford that.
Now somebody like you, of course, would be fine there.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can. You cut out too, but no one's going to know that.
Yeah, now I don't. No one's going to know. And actually, all I see is your name or your first letter of your name on your screen right now. So
I know it's John. Yeah, you're frozen, but it's a very handsome frozen.
Oh,
picture.
I'm sure it is. You like my hat? You like my new hat?
I do. Yes, it's got a mountain or something on it.
Yeah, and it says Jeep.
Oh, does it? I couldn't see that until you
I'll get closer.
Yeah. Could you get a little closer? No, a little closer.
It's funny because my screen is frozen, John's. So you know what, though, folks? Since we for some reason you're never going to know. That's the best thing. You're never going to know of our technical difficulties, but we never have technical difficulties.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not. Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, we're not. We're
going to pretend that we're not, but we are going to wrap things up for this episode because we do have a few more things we want to talk about. So we're probably just going to start recording the next episode. Next.
Yeah.
But hey, you're back.
Let's change clothes.
I'm not going to change clothes. People. Do you think people really are going to look that closely?
I think so. I think, if you go to a Cher concert, which I'm sure you've done.
Oh, many times.
She changes clothes how many times during a perforance?
I have no idea. I've never been to a Cher concert.
Oh, you big liar. I know you have.
I've shared concerts with people.
Cher. I think if we change clothes between episodes, that would be.
Yeah, no one would know. Yeah, no one would know that it's the same day, same time.
Well, yeah, that's because I always wear my uniform.
Channel. I know your uniform exactly.
My shorts.
This is not my uniform. A hat and a Predators shirt. I should put on a Minnesota Wild shirt next.
That would be wild.
Yeah, I know.
No, it wouldn't.
Okay, who's the better hockey team? Who knows? All right, folks, head up to the website. Check it out. It's brand new, sort of. It's old new. It's an up fresh. It's a refresh. It's a refresh of something old, something borrowed, old something new. Blue. It's old new, new old new. Just like John and me. I'm new. He's old. A B C D E F G. Hey. Anyway, folks, head up to PoddiMouths.com. Check us out up there. I don't know if it'll be up by Tuesday. I'm hoping it will, but there is an opportunity for you to sign up for our newsletter. Even though there really isn't that much news, it's really just letting you know that a new episode is out every week and giving you links to all the places that you can listen to it, including PoddiMouths.com.
Yes.
But you also have links to all of our socials there as well. And join the conversation. Tell us what you think. Give us some ideas. We are looking to make a few changes in 2023 as we roll this podcast out for our 5th season. This is episode 1. Episode 2 should be jam-packed with some more just absolute nothingness. And then, maybe episode 3 will actually start with something new and exciting. Who knows? But you should stick around and find out.
You're talking about, are you going to fire me? This sounds like we're going to have a firing.
I'm going to give you a pay cut.
Damn it.
Yeah. Right, pay cut.
I would do this for half of what you're currently paying me.
I know you would. That's exactly what you're going to get.
Or double.
You know what? In that case, it's double or nothing.
Deal.
Yeah. All right, folks. Happy New Year. Happy 2023. Happy birthday, Mom. And
happy
birthday,
see you
Mom. Next week.
See ya.